want to point out is something that the girls back there talked about earlier. Accountability is very critical. You are accountable for your own success. You are who you want to be and who you set out to be. So if something is not going right, don't expect anyone to give you anything. You have to go out and get it. And if you try and if you start down that path, you'll find success, inshallah. You'll find the way to get there. So this is just different things that truly make up a servant leader. There is a lot here, okay? I'm not going to go through all of it, but I want to go through just a few things that are here somewhere that to me I think are truly important. Number one, if you want to become a servant leader, is think others first, okay? So what does that mean, think others first, right? When I'm having a conversation, me and someone, we are all at fault of this, by the way, because servant leadership is hard. It takes truly being selfless. So when I'm having a conversation and someone comes to me, I'm not going to think about what do I want from it. I'm not going to think about how do I leave this winning. I'm going to take a completely different stance and say, how do I walk out of this letting them win? How do I walk out of this giving them what they need? How do I serve them? When you come into any conversation with that mindset, you're actually listening. You're no longer formulating your answer. We are all at fault of this. We formulate our answer before someone has even finished their sentence. So think others first is a critical thing. Number two is unconditional positive regard, okay? This is something that I think as a Sudanese community, wallahi, we really need to focus on it. Unconditional positive regard is, I don't care what stories I've heard about you. يمكن فلانة قالت لي حاجة عنك وأنا سمعت عنك حاجة ولا أنا سمعت حاجة عن الزول داك. We need to stop this. This is negativity. In fact, when people come to me to tell me stories about other people, I tell them, I'm like, I'm so sorry, معلش, I don't get involved in this. I've had people tell me, you're too American, I don't even like you, I don't want to be your friend. I'm like, that's fine, that's okay. Like, I'm not willing to hear negativity because that doesn't move us in the right direction, okay? The third thing, which is what we just said, is expect the best. I am who I am today because someone believed in me. Because someone said, Samar, you know what? You can do a lot more than this. I remember one time I had, and friends are a huge influence. I had a group of friends at that time, and out of all my friends, I was doing really good. I was 19, I was driving a Jaguar, I had 6-figure salary at 19. That's pretty good. And so I was like, I'm doing really good. Chill out, Sally. My sister is the one who was like, Dishnora, you can do so much more than this. And I was like, Minu? I was like, who tells someone that's doing all this that they can do more than this? And she's like, Samar, you haven't even finished your degree. She's like, you realize this. Khalas, I understand. You're doing fine. I was a salesperson at the time. But you can do a lot more. Don't you want to do more? And I was like, not really, Anna. I'm good. I'm chill. Kada khalili. And she pushed me. And she said, no, you need to do more. You listen. What do you really want to be doing? Is this making you happy? And at the time, sales was a hard job. It was something where if you do well today, great job. We had a CEO where if you didn't do well, he yelled at you. He brought you into the office and yelled at you. So it wasn't what I wanted to do. I really did want to have something that I can call my own, something that I can feel like I'm making a difference. The one thing for me is that that sales job, I didn't feel like I was making a true difference. So at the end, believing in people and having people that believe in you is very critical. So as a leader, you have to expect the best, okay? So these are just a few things that from here that are really important. There is listening, there is empathy, there is healing. There is truly caring about people at the foundation of it. Actually, I talk too much. Work needs management, people need leadership. For all I'm going to ask you guys today is just to think about your own leadership style, to think about how you treat others that cannot do anything for you. If you want to measure if you're a true leader or not, think about how you treat people that cannot do anything for you. So your little brother, your little sister, your children, people that you can run around. What do you do with them? These are some of the common roots of command and control. These are the things that a lot of us are raised with, unfortunately, that make us command and control. So these things include things such as, I'm a perfectionist, guilty as charged. This is who I was. I managed things, and I did what I did very well. As a project manager, I was very, very good at it. So when I became a director of project management, the idea of letting the project managers just run their own show was very scary for me. No way, what do you mean? Can they let me help you out? I got this. Let me do the schedule for you. This is important. Things need to be done this specific way, and that way is my way. We have to get away from that. We have to learn to allow others to do it, and we have to learn anew. There is more than one way to do things right. So they might do it a completely different way. It's still going to be right. There is more. I'm always right. My solution is the best. I'm your boss. Don't question anything. Just do as I say. And I'm looking out for me. We do this a lot, unfortunately. And it's really, really bad. You can't just be, my neck is on the line. So you know what? If you don't act this way, I'm going to get fired. I'm going to get in trouble. Then change the culture, right? Leadership to me is really about leading with courage, being able to stand up, being proactive, and being able to speak out when you see something is wrong. Don't wait for others to correct your culture or to correct what's going on in your company. I go into a lot of organizations, and the people who, before I got there, were speaking out the most, the people who people were like, yeah, they're hard to work with. They're actually the ones that got the promotions. They're the ones that I picked to join my team of coaches and to lead a transformation. And these are Fortune 100 companies. I mean, these are really huge companies. But speak out. When you see that something in your company is not working correctly, speak out. Never go to a job just to get a salary. Never. You have power within every organization. Your voice matters. And if it doesn't, then leave that company. You should not be there. Okay. Sorry, can you keep skipping? This thing is not working. Oh, keep skipping. Keep skipping. Keep skipping. Sorry, Jamal. Like I said, this is a whole class, but we're going to skip a lot of slides here. I want to tell you a little bit about motivation. One thing that's important, I guess, that just came up is that being a servant leader doesn't mean that you get ran over. It doesn't mean that you don't have any control. We certainly have control of every environment that we're in. It's just subtle. It's truly just nudging. I'm just going to nudge you rather than force you to do anything. So you're going to skip this whole section. But I keep going. Faster, 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 faster. Sorry. Can you just skip to the slide that says motivation? Sorry. There is research that shows what people are motivated by. What our parents are motivated by and what the current generation is motivated by are very different, at least here in the United States. This research obviously is for mostly here in the US. So Gen Y is, or sorry, baby boomers are motivated by good wages, by job security. I can keep this job for a really long time. And promotion opportunities, okay? This is not what Gen Y is motivated by. We are motivated by appreciation. So you have to focus on the differences there. We are motivated by appreciation, feeling in on things. So how do we feel about this, right? And then understanding attitude. These things to our parents, yes, we'll go through that. So these things to our parents did not matter. What, do you guys remember, what generation is this? What happened here? Why is it job security? So me having a job, no matter how my boss treats me, is important to me, is what these people are saying. I want to make sure I can get a promotion, is what these people are saying. And I want to make sure I have a good salary, I have good income. Do you guys remember what's happening with baby boomers? Who are baby boomers?
The war before that?
Yes. So this is part of the Great Depression. This is when people were truly struggling. Things were hard. People needed to put food on the table. So this really mattered to them. The fact is, right now, and by the way, right now there is a new generation. I forgot their name, but there's a new generation, Generation Y. Like, there's a new one. But like in Generation Y, one of the most critical things for us is we want to feel appreciated. If we don't feel appreciated at work, then guess what? If I have a skill that is wanted, I can apply for a million different jobs. You're not the only place I can work. But as a leader, understanding this when you're leading is critical. Because if you have employees and you do not appreciate them, they're going to leave you if they're from this generation. You cannot be command and control. This is not like the military anymore. It's not like school. You have to show people respect. That's what filling in on things means. If I feel like my opinion is not being valued, I'm not going to stay at the organization. If I feel like you're going in the wrong direction, I'm not going to stay with you. So this is why we always tell people when we go to them, it's about creating a shared vision. Making sure that you share your vision. I go into a lot of companies, huge companies, and the way that they work is they just tell their developers, for example, or their business analysts, or whatever it is, here is what I want you to do. Here, program this, or test this, or whatever. Here is what I need you to do. They don't actually motivate them. They don't actually tell them, here is the shared vision. Here is how your work actually impacts the big picture. But as a leader, you have to make sure that that's understood. Okay? And of course, understanding attitude is just understanding where are they coming from? What motivates them? Is this place a healthy place? What's their interaction with other people around them? So this is very important to Gen Y. It's very different than what motivated them before. So just one more slide I want to share with you guys. Yes. What motivates people? So a very interesting research was done in India, in the US, all across. And people were sure into what motivates people is more money. Right? So sure about that? What motivates people is more money. Give me more money, I'll work harder. What we found out is that that's not actually very true. Think about Candy Crush or whatever games you play on your phone, right? What motivates us is having something that is challenging to do, right? That's something that motivates everybody. So it's not just about getting more money. It's also about feeling like I'm accomplishing something, I'm setting goals, I'm contributing in some kind of way. That's critical, okay? Emotional ownership of the work. This is very important. So a lot of times I tell people, if you don't give that vision, nobody feels like they share anything with you, right? I love the idea behind Domino's because everybody that works there, they tell you that you can one day own this. So then that gets you some emotional connection to it. I really want to learn this business. I really want to do well. So it's such a smart strategy because even if 90% of the people working there never become owners, what does it matter? I've created a work environment that truly inspires people to continue to put in their hardest because that's an opportunity that's there for me. And I have an emotional connection to it now. But this is very, very critical. So in summary, guys, leadership is one of, I think, the most important things. I think in shifting towards servant leadership, shifting towards this way of leading, honestly, to me, it's, I feel like it's the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted us to lead. I feel like nobody is supposed to be led by force. Nobody is just supposed to be pushed to doing everything. When we think about Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he didn't push people. If you notice, if you read the stories, he didn't push people. He really gave them motivation that was subtle. He allowed them to understand things. He motivated them to get there, even on how he converted people. I really encourage everybody here in your own household and definitely at work, be a leader, be proactive, stand up for what's right when you see it. And obviously, please join us, join SAPAA, sign up at the back, join the mentorship program. We'd love to have more leaders. So if you're someone who understands this concept, we need you with us. We need more leaders here as part of SAPAA. So thank you.
طيب يا جماعة, while we're setting up the next session, حنفتح الباب بتاع التعليق. لو في زول عنده أي تعليق أو أي سؤال على الكلام اللي قالته سمر أو عن المنتورشيب بروجرام, ندي الناس فرصة انها تعلق while we're getting set up next session. لو في أي زول عنده أي سؤال أو أي تعليق, تفضل, المايك is open, ممكن نسمع منكم.
شكرا جزيلا. السؤال بالنسبة للجنريشن والديفرنت, ودي حاجة very important. يعني كثير من الليدرشيب بيعملوا حسابهم شديد للناس الصغار وبراعوا لهم وبيضطهدوا الكبار. Even there is not supposed to be any discrimination in the papers, but not actually. Like if you have the same position and you want someone to move and they're young and they know they will fly, and someone sitting here for like 10 years, they don't look in that like the old one. And this happens actually. Either you have to fight for it, which I did, and it's really different. Like someone, they just hired them like less than 6 months. They have to move on. And you stay here like 10 years. They cannot move on because, oh, you're already here, you're already sitting. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's very true. I think, Innu, there is two sides to that. The first side, the important side, is that if you have someone who's a servant leader, then what we talked about is that that person cares. That person, with something that I do with any employees that we have, something that I encourage my management team to do is, if your employee does not know what's going to be in their review until you have your yearly review with them, that's a problem. So a lot of it is about if you have good leadership, which the fact is we don't have good leadership. Most people got promoted into management because they did something really, really good. Just because you do something really good doesn't qualify you to become a manager, to become a leader. Unfortunately, that's a huge part of the problem, which is that we don't have people that truly care. All they care about is promoting someone who's going to make them look good, right? The second part about it, the thing that I want to say to the baby boomers, is that you have to understand something about the work world today, which is that change is critical. Change is a part of how you're going to survive. Things are changing around you. You have to change with them. Otherwise, it's very difficult to survive in this world. You have to respond to change. You have to be willing to, you can't say, this is how I've done it for 10 years. People that say that do not survive, because how you've done it for 10 years, there is things that allow you to do it better today. But I think there is two sides of this, and thank you for bringing that up. It's a very good point. Thank you. Any more questions?
Hey, I love what you said. I agree with like all of it. And I love what, I don't remember his name.
Sadiq.
Yeah, what he said too. And I feel like everything connects today. I feel like there's a common theme. And if so many people from so many different areas of work and life and different generations are saying the same thing over and over and over again, I think there's truth to it. And I can't tell y'all how much we pay, like in school. I'm in a lot of leadership positions. We pay for networking. We pay for leadership training over and over and over again. Linda and I were just sitting here, we're like, oh yeah, I got taught that in that leadership seminar we went to, that we had to pay for a lot, $50 or more, every time. So there's no such thing as free lunch. Like, the membership here might be $100. You think that's a lot? No, trust me. I am also a member of the Arlington Chamber Collegiate Council. We are a link between our UTA students and students in general in Arlington and the business community, the Arlington Chamber of Commerce. We get people to pay to get connected to the business community. We get people to pay also in the Entrepreneur Society to get connected with entrepreneurs, to sit down in areas where people are bouncing ideas off of each other like we're doing here. So there's so much value. If you go to just a typical American culture, you will be paying a lot. Like for her to speak, I don't even know what her fee is, but at least $10,000 to come speak at a seminar. I can tell you that right now. So the value that you're getting from these people, they're professionals, it is so important. People pay so much for it and they have to wait so long to actually get the benefits for it. Yeah. I might pay a little bit more for UTA, but yes.
Thank you so much.
Listen.
Thank you so much. That's very true. My classes are 15,000.
And we're not paying her for this, by the way. We're not bribing her.
Please join us, guys. I mean, is this working? Okay, maybe. Hello? Can you guys hear me? Oh, okay, sorry. Please join us. This is something that we are doing because we want a way to give back. Me and my sister, mashallah, she started this and she helped me become a part of it. Yeah, when we go and teach classes, our classes are more than $15,000. They're $15,000 to $25,000 each. Our hours are a lot more than $100 an hour, for just an hour. And you get my time unlimited. because you guys are Sudanese Americans, and I love you guys, and I want to invest in you, and I want to see my sisters and brothers grow to be successful. I am tired. I am tired of going to every city and seeing so many people that I know have potential not be successful. I don't understand why. And I had to say, you know what? It's time for me to stop saying that and to do something about it. So what can I do about it? I can become a part of SAPAA. I can become a mentor. I'm really hoping and I'm encouraging you guys to sign up and be a part of this. Any other questions?
I just have a
Yes.
comment from
طيب لحظة.
the philosophical part of leadership, whether it is something that the person born with or it's something that could be acquired. Somebody can learn it.
Absolutely.
This is a very interesting and very important issue that you need to touch on, because many people think all those leaders today are just being born with that. However, I think the researchers, the latest researches and the studies have just proved that it can be acquired, it can be learned. It's only you, and if you start it, you have to be a trailblazer if you decide so, if you have that kind of quality. That is my one question. Please just emphasize on that.
Thank you so much. Definitely.
Right. Number two is that there is lots of connection and a very important kind of a thread that connects morality, ethics, good example with leadership. No matter how successful you are, if you don't have those morals, values and quality and traits, you're going to stay where you are. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Great input. To your second point, there's something that I teach all my managers, everyone that's in leadership, right? I don't care how skilled you are. I don't care how good you are. If you don't care, nobody cares about what you know. So if you want to get promoted, if you want to, you have to be of value. If you're not of value, what are you leading people on? Definitely, thank you so much. There is so much connection there. To your first point, I got fired, so I'd like to tell you guys a very quick story. I got fired from Wells Fargo Bank. I was their number 2 salesperson in the entire nation. So my skills, I was amazing, amazing. There wasn't anybody, I was number 2 in the entire nation. They fired me. Do you want to know why? Because they put me in a leadership position and I wasn't ready for it. I sucked at leadership. Today, I'm probably one of the best leaders, right? I teach organizations how to lead. So please understand, this is something that you can learn. You have to be humble. You have to be willing to want to learn. Something that at that time I was not willing to realize, I was 19 or 20, is that I didn't know it. And the first path for me to start learning is to say to myself, you know what? I can be better at this. A lot of us come with this notion of we know everything. I know that. I know what she's talking about. You might know some of it. Absolutely you do. But you probably don't know all of it. So be willing to learn.